Welcome to another episode of Candid Convos. Today's guest is Samuel Brotman. Samuel, can you please let people know who you are and what it is that you do out there?
Sure. My name is Sam Brotman. I'm the owner and director of legal for Brotman Law in San Diego. We are a tax law firm specializing in three things. So we get people out of trouble when it comes to taxes, defending them in audits and helping them with amounts that are too much for them to pay. Because we're good at getting people out of trouble, we keep people out of trouble. So we have a really large tax compliance practice focusing on residency and multi-state issues, among other things. And then we're really good at optimizing people's taxes and saving them a bunch of money, either through restructuring them or helping them apply for tax credits or a variety of other different things.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been, growing your law firm?
We've been growing our law firm since 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I started my law firm basically with an IKEA desk and a cell phone.
Nice.
And we are 16 people today and have grown pretty substantially and are continuing to grow. So.
Okay. And what made you go into tax law? Like, was this something that you chose when you were in law school, or did you had a knack for it?
I don't think anybody grows up wanting to be a tax attorney. It's not kind of like the first choice in any of the elementary school career fairs.
Mm-hmm.
I got to start as a paralegal working for a very large law firm in New York City. And immediately I kind of gravitated towards corporate transactions and doing deals. And my experience with tax was the tax partners at the law firm were always the ones that looked like they wanted to pull their hair out at 3 a.m. By merging billion-dollar company A with billion-dollar company B. So I went into law school thinking I was going to do corporate deals, had no interest in tax. And then I started working fairly young in my law school career for an attorney who did real estate business and tax controversy. And I got a really good sense of working in tax and defending people in audits and helping them. And tax is something that impacts everybody. It's oftentimes people's at least second or third largest expense, if not their largest expense. And taxes have a pretty significant impact. They affect a business's ability to do the things that it does. They affect people's ability to feed and take care of their families. And I just developed a passion for it, particularly because I'm based in California. We see a lot of things. California is very, very aggressive on the tax side of things. And so, my job is first to protect people. And secondly, really to take their tax position, so to speak, and turn that into a platform of strength for them. So.
Okay, so that's not also that's smart and nice at the same time, because you don't strike me honestly as the type of lawyer that's just pulling their hair out, the one that you described for of how you started your journey. So was there ever a moment where you said, okay, I don't want to become something like this or that, or this is what I'm aiming for, or did you sort of like grew into that?
Early in my career, I had the opportunity to work in a big law firm. And so I kind of got the flavor of big law, so to speak. And then right before I went into smaller practice, I worked in-house.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the law firm I worked at was in New York City. I went to law school in San Diego. So I kind of had a very large diversity of perspective. And that really helped color me in terms of what I want and what I didn't want. Originally, Brotman Law was established as a virtual office because I loved what I did. And I just said I'd be the happiest lawyer in the world if I can go to work in shorts and sandals every day. And then realizing the downside of having virtual practice sometimes, it's made me kind of pull in a different direction. But, you go through life and you have different experiences and it leads you to different things. And, that's kind of where it's led me.
Okay. Now that's something very interesting because I started to notice, well, not start to notice, it's been out there for a while. This trend or this special lifestyle that lawyers want to have where there's a lot of things that you can do remote and there's a lot of things that you can also automate. Now, I know that also depends on the practice area that you're in, but when it comes to you, like I'm just wondering, like how was the journey from going to one desk and one phone to now having, did you say 16 or 17 people working with you?
We have 16, I think it's 16, 16 or
Mhm,
17. I'm pretty sure it's 16, but I lose count sometimes.
mhm. And were
Uh,
you, yeah, go ahead.
but oh, I mean, the journey for me, in the beginning when you're doing everything yourself, it's challenging. It's fun in a lot of ways, but you get trapped in a lot of different things. And
Mhm,
so, really with growth, um, money is certainly nice, revenue is certainly nice, but creating leverage through, bringing on other people and having those people devote time to what you're building, it gives you an opportunity to serve people in different ways.
mhm,
And probably the biggest benefit from my standpoint is it's given me more control over my personal time,
mhm,
uh, and allowed me the freedom and flexibility that I otherwise wouldn't have as an attorney. You know,
mhm,
uh, if I'm a practicing tax attorney, I'd have 50 cases, and I do well with those 50 cases. But now we have probably well over 300 clients, and we're able to serve those people in the way that I believe people should be served. And that's through the skill, hard work, and effort of a lot of the people on our team.
mhm.
And it's been really great. It's really rewarding to have that big of an impact. So,
Yeah. So from someone that's starting up or in a similar position that the one that you were in when you had that IKEA desk and a phone to where you're at right now, what would you suggest for them to put into place so they can be able to grow something such as what you did without revealing the secret gravy, of course.
well, the secret gravy is um, there's a lot of talented people all over the place.
Mhm,
And I think one of the things that was the biggest benefit from COVID is it taught us that the world can function, at least in part, in a remote working environment. Which has been very foreign for a lot of people, and most law firms.
yeah.
And my personal feelings on the subject is that people do business with people.
Mhm,
Anytime I have the opportunity to sit face to face with somebody, I'd much rather do that than be on a Zoom call. I'd much rather do that than be on a phone call. Um, so, in hiring people, number one, they don't have to be located where you are physically. Number two is there is a wealth of people internationally that are talented,
mhm,
um, and who who are just as good, if not arguably better, than some of the people or most of the people in the United States. I mean, talent is talent.
yeah.
For example, we have somebody on our team, Natalia, that we got through get staffed up, and Natalia runs circles around some of our associate attorneys. She's a sixth year CPA. She's got an analytical mind like you wouldn't believe, and she's so passionate and she's so hardworking, and she's just made such an impact for us. Um, but remote employees are still employees.
Mhm,
You have to put the time and effort involved in them. You have to train them. Just because they're out of sight doesn't mean you could put them out of your mind and expect them to do the things that you want them to do. They need nurturing, they need mentorship, they need to be a part of the team, they need to collaborate. And it's very important to create that environment. And if you take care of your people, you ultimately be rewarded. Um, People want to work for an organization they believe in. People want alignment with the organizational values, and that's not something that is native to the United States. That's a global feeling. It's a human feeling. So if you want to be successful from a hiring standpoint and create leverage, you need to build a culture that fosters and develops and grows people.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you. I think everything that you've stated, I think it's going to be very helpful for every lawyer that's trying to grow, that's trying to have even more successful practice, and also have that balance in their life to be able to keep moving forward, like changing all of the all the stimuli that it's out there. I have one final question for you, because we already know like what you can do and where people can find you, and trust me, that's going to be blasted on social media on this recording. But what's in the future for Brotman Law?
We have been doing a lot of work around the employee retention tax credit, and the employee retention tax credit it's a relief program that was passed during the pandemic. And it's a very lucrative credit for a lot of businesses. We're finding a lot of people have not taken advantage of it, or they've been told that they don't qualify and they actually do. And the credit amounts in a lot of cases are even more substantial than the PPP loans were. So in the short term, we've been really helping clients understand whether they qualify for the credit, been helping them get these credits. They've been a phenomenal benefit. I mean, we're seeing 6 and 7 figure credits. I think in the last 2 weeks, we've done like 13 million in credits. It's been incredible. And so, we certainly, the defense side of our practice will always be there. But in helping people grow, it's the saving money, it's the structuring their business. It's about helping them take advantage of all the opportunities. And frankly, a lot of CPAs are great for what they do, but, they're not omnipotent when it comes to tax, and they're not tax strategists. And that's a mistake that a lot of people make. So, the future of us is, we're going to kind of be a fractional, chief tax officer on people's advisory boards and help people make really good decisions with respect to tax, and continue to help people grow and change. It's certainly been a really powerful thing in the last few months for us, and something we're going to keep continuing to do.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that. I want to thank you for sharing that. I know that's also like part of your strategy, so it's also like very insightful and very helpful at the same time. Now, in the pursuit of truth, I know that I can keep this conversation going on and on, but unfortunately, we're out of time. Sam, I'd like to thank you again for showing up. And if there's anything that you'd like to say to lawyers that are in the position of growth that you were in, or that you are in right now, any type of advice, would you like to leave a last few words?
I just tell you to keep going. When you make the decision to run a business, and you give up the comfort that comes with a job, it is scary. The days are tough and they can be long, but ultimately, causes lead to effects, and making the investment in things and being disciplined about it will ultimately lead to success, and you just got to keep at it. So,
well, you got to steer that ship into the storm. Thank you very much, Sam. This was it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and catch you in the next episode of Candid Convos.